There are obviously a lot of very exciting development projects going on in Wilmington right now, but the biggest one by far is what's happening at Reach Riverside and the Kingswood Community Center and the Teen Warehouse. There's a lot of names here. We're very happy to be joined today by Logan Herring, the CEO of Reach Riverside, Kingswood Community Center, and the Teen Warehouse. There's a lot of names, and you hear different people talk about this project, but it is over a $100 million project. Welcome to the Wilmington Show, by the way.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
And we want to hear all about this project. So what's going on?
So Reach Riverside, first of all, REACH is an acronym. It stands for Redevelopment, Education, and Community Health. All right, so that's 3 pillars, and those are the 3 pillars of the Purpose-Built Communities model. So when
that's a national organization.
So yeah, Purpose-Built. So let's start with Purpose-Built. Purpose-Built Communities is out of Atlanta. They started about 1995. They weren't purpose-built then. They grew into that. But what it started was a whole holistic revitalization around a neighborhood that was really struggling. And when I say really struggling, that's an understatement. They were 18 times the national crime rate, $35 million in drug trade. They had a 30% high school graduation rate. 40% of their housing units were uninhabitable. They had a $1,300 or $4,500 median income annually.
$4,500.
$4,500 median income annually. 13% of the adults were working. Their neighborhood was Little Vietnam. A lot of people refer to Riverside and the Bucket 2-6, and I always say I'd rather be the Bucket than Little Vietnam.
Right.
Like that's just a war zone. 23 years later, they've completely turned around this community. $400 million of investment have come into the community. So we use that as our benchmark. So after they've done this work, and they were about 10 to 15 years in, Katrina hit New Orleans, and New Orleans reached out and said, can you help us? And that was the beginning of Purpose-Built Communities, because after they helped New Orleans, a neighborhood in New Orleans, they were like, we can bottle this up, package it, and help neighborhoods all across the country. So they are now influencing or partnering with 21 official network affiliates, and Reach Riverside is the 19th of those 21 network affiliates. So with that comes 10 years of technical assistance pro bono, at least 10 years. And the reason why they can afford to do all of this work and support us for free is that funded by Warren Buffett and 2 other billionaires. Right. So having Purpose-Built at the table with us gives us the credibility, the accreditation, the validation, and this is why you see all of these partners jumping in, and you know, the governor and the mayor and the county exec, because it's a big deal. You're one of 21 neighborhoods in the country.
This is a huge deal.
It's a huge deal, and little old Wilmington is, you know, a part of it.
Yeah. So what is it? What does it involve? Like what? Tell us about the scope of the Reach Riverside.
So what it involves is right now the Wilmington Housing Authority has 293 units that are in the Riverside neighborhood. We're looking to replace those 293 with more than 400 of mixed income units. That is everything from market rate to affordable to deeply subsidized and home ownership all in one neighborhood. So we would do basically a 1-for-1 replacement of the affordable housing that's there with new affordable, and then another third of market rate. So what we get away from is concentrated poverty, and we introduce a mixed income community where everyone can thrive and learn from each other. So that's just the housing component. So that's our R in REACH, or, you know, the redevelopment, and that's just the housing of the redevelopment. We also are going to do a new state-of-the-art Kingswood Community Center to support the new neighborhood, and that new Kingswood would have an expanded and enhanced early learning center, because we believe that, you know, the foundation for everything for prosperity is education, and that has to be supported by the home life. So now you combine the education with the redevelopment. It looks like you were about to ask a question.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm from Wilmington, and I remember what Riverside and the Bucket and that whole area used to look like. How and what you're saying, it's amazing. I think it's an awesome opportunity for the city to grow, and especially that area over there. How is the community? You know, the people that live there right now. How are they accepting this? Are they all for it? Are they all in? And has it changed your priorities anyway with the reaction?
So, well, the number one thing is I'm from Wilmington as well.
Right.
So, as the leader of this organization and this, you know, revitalization, I'm one of them. I'm a part of the community. Yeah. And the top priority in the Purpose-Built model is that the community drives the process. Right. So even in our first master planning session, the community was invited to partake in that and talk about what they wanted to see in the neighborhood, what assets, what resources they need. We went on a bus trip a week ago, and that was front page of the paper yesterday. We took the residents down. We took three 15-passenger vans and took the residents, all of our partners down, and they got to experience a Penrose developed site. Penrose is one of the top affordable housing developers in the country, and Penrose, arranged this trip, and we went down to visit a Penrose developed site, and they're the ones that we've chosen to do our development in the neighborhood. So the neighbor.
And where was that site that you went to?
So it was in Annapolis, Maryland.
Okay, cool.
Annapolis, excuse me, and then we stopped at another site in Baltimore. They have a lot in the Maryland area, but they're in 13 states across the country. So they're a top-notch affordable housing developer, and they've been a tremendous partner for us. And the community, again, they're driving these conversations. They're telling us what they want, what they want to see.
So on that note, like, how can people get involved in this? How can people help? What do you need? Like, what do you need at this point?
I mean, we need everything. I mean, we need volunteers. Obviously, we need funding. It's a very complex financial model to make these houses come to light, as it's affordable. So it's not really driving the economics itself. It's not like, Robert Cheney's on our board at Reach Riverside. So it's not like the development he's doing where that, you have the market rate that kind of sustains itself. There has to be gaps that are filled. There's subsidies. So, we're looking for funding from all various aspects. We actually have a national fundraising council that's meeting with us today that we've chosen and identified, and we're going to, go across the country and try to scour every penny that we can get to support. But we need partners. The operating philosophy at Reach Riverside is the power of and we call it our Thanksgiving model. So I don't know about you, but when we have Thanksgiving, everybody's good at making one dish. Some people, they need to stay away from certain things. So we don't need everybody cooking the entire meal. You look like
no potato salad for you, bro.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So everybody's good at bringing one dish, and that's what we do. And then you bring your dish to the table. And at the end of Thanksgiving, my house, whenever I go to, or a family member's house, we always have leftovers. Yeah. And in the nonprofit world, we focus too much on this is mine, this is my funding, this is my part. Like you can't have it.
And if you're taking from that pot, you're taking out of mine. Yeah.
We're the exact opposite. We want everybody at the table, because if you do something really well, then you do that and let somebody else do something else they do really well. And if everybody's at the table, then we all have a tremendous feast, and we'll have plenty of leftovers.
Well, there's obviously a lot of aspects to this, and one of them that I've heard a lot about is the teen warehouse, and we're going to be doing a segment with you on that up next. So thanks for coming on the Wilmington Show.
Yeah, thank you.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any positive stories that Zach and myself need to talk about, be sure to submit it at stories.wilmington.love.